So this is a 2021 Citroen e-C4. This one is a Shine Plus model, and in this video I'm going to look at the phone app and just go through the functionality of it. So I've got an Android phone here, and there's a My Citroen logo there, and that will open up the app. So I find this app works pretty well. It's not foolproof though. Sometimes you'll send a command to the car, like a turn on the heating command, and sometimes it doesn't work, but then all of them are pretty much the same, apart from a Tesla. Teslas work every time. But there's quite a lot that goes on when an app on your phone is communicating to the car. They've both got to have an internet connection, and obviously usually in the morning the car's completely asleep and it's got to send a wake command to the car, and sometimes that can take a while, and that delay can sometimes cause it to time out and not communicate. So they don't always work, but this one is no worse than any other brand, to be honest. But it does have quite a lot of functionality, so what I'm going to do is just whiz through that here. So on the home page you have got a few things. So here we have got your charge schedule, and this is where you can select a charge schedule. I'm just pausing a bit because I've never seen this page. But you can set up your charging here if you want to do that on the app rather than in the car. And it's showing us here the battery state of charge and the estimated range. And then you've got some other information up there. No, you haven't. But anyway, this is if you want to set up scheduled charging, for example, charging on a cheap rate overnight tariff. It's not easy doing this one-handed. My phone is rather large, and I can't get out of that. That's very good, isn't it? Why can't I get out of that? Let's do a next then, rather than a back. Oh, that's flipping annoying, isn't it? I've got to accept that. Right, I managed to close that. So that's your charging, and then your next function is climate. And this is where you can send a one-off command to the car to turn on the heating, or in the summer it will turn on the air conditioning and it will precondition the vehicle, or you can set up a schedule. So that's the function that most users are going to use the most, to precondition the vehicle. So next we've got a map where we can see the location of the vehicle. We've also got a prepared journey, which I assume here we can send a destination to the vehicle sat-nav. We can also go to My Vehicle, so if you're some way from your vehicle, you can then use your phone's navigation to find your vehicle. You can share your location, and then down the bottom we've got Citroen News, where it's probably going to go to the Citroen website there to call up the latest news from Citroen. So the next tab is trips, and this is where it shows you what trips you've done in the vehicle, and then when you've done a trip it pings on your phone and records that trip. I find this is pretty useless information, to be honest, because it doesn't record the efficiency, and that's all I would want from this really, is to see how efficient the vehicle has been on my journey. But all it gives you really is the driving time and distance. So the next tab is maintenance, and this is the electronic service history records. And we can see here the maintenance which is due on the vehicle, and if the vehicle had been serviced, which in this case it's going for its first service next week, then that would all appear there as well. So the next tab is the vehicle information. We can see the VIN, we can see the mileage, services, what services, vehicle data, navigation pack, remote control. Oh right, so this is all the sort of telematics and the apps, the stuff that makes the app works, and we can see here that it's activated until November 2033. So yeah, it's all the background services. Vehicle touchscreen. This is telling us the software level of the multimedia screen. I have updated the software in that myself, but this tells you when it's out of date and it needs an update. So that's what that bit is. Vehicle documentation. This is basically your user manual. It's all electronic now. You've got video tutorials, which I'm not going to call up, and then you've got your user guide. I've actually used this and it is pretty good. You can click on any part of the vehicle and you've basically got an electronic user guide, but it's one of the better ones. It's not just one great big PDF manual. And that's it under that tab. So I can click the account details at the top, and we've got my favourite dealership, so you can assign your local dealership, my offers, my notifications, and this is where you can set up notifications. We've got this new e-routes. This is something that was quite new. I haven't played with that yet. Recall campaigns, let's have a look there. This is where you can check whether there's any recalls for your vehicle. None for mine. And then down here we've got settings, and we can set the units, and that's mainly for combustion engine vehicles actually, isn't it? We can set alerts. This is where you can define what your app is going to do. So it's going to ping me when there's new journeys, low on fuel, fuel prices, maintenance and custom. Audience measurement, what's that? Application improves thanks to... Alright, this is where it's going to send data back to them so they can improve the app, i.e. track you. Driving data. Yeah, this is all basically your data sharing. So that's about it. There we go. So the main things you're going to use is charging and climate control, just like any other app. And maybe vehicle locations, helps you find your vehicle if you can't remember where you parked it. And remotely looking at the state of charge, as I can see there, estimated range, and you can drill into that a little bit more and get your percentage as I showed you. So as far as apps goes, it's pretty good, and I found it to be reasonably reliable, about the same as any other vehicle, as I said. So I think I'll leave it there. So as always, if you found this video useful, please do click the thumbs up button. It really does help. If you want to know more about the Citroen e-C4, then in the video description below is a link to a playlist where you can see other videos I've made on these vehicles. And I'll see you on the next one. Okie doke, bye then.